Bang, boom. Welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It is April 16th, 2021, in the year of God. What if you believe in God? That's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. I'm in Colorado. This is a beautiful hotel room. I'm in Colorado Springs. This is not the backdrop of a beautiful hotel room. I am actually in this room. I could go touch that and sit on that couch over there.
I don't believe it.
It's totally
it looks fake to me, Steve.
It's totally doable, and I will prove it to you right now. Because if you can still hear me, here I am. Look at me. I'm sitting on the couch now. Look at me. I'm over here. This is going to be where I do my OnlyFans page.
I mean, I don't know.
I've got a high-end
Steve,
OnlyFans page.
I don't know what kind.
What?
I don't know what kind of Zoom account you have where your special effects are that good. We know you're staying in a Motel 6. Dude. You don't have a couch in your room.
No,
you got
Let me tell you about where I am. Okay, I told you I'm in Colorado Springs. I'm doing shows. If you get this tonight and you're bored, I have 2 shows tonight and 2 shows tomorrow, Saturday, at the 3 East Comedy Club. It's right across the street. I've never been here before. I've heard it's great, and like I said, I was looking forward to this because when I said yes to it, I go, I could probably play golf, maybe sneak it in. A couple of weeks ago, I started looking at the weather report. 67 degrees on Saturday, 67, sunny, boom, boom, boom. I go, where do I play now? I look up. One of the top courses in America is at this place called the Broadmoor. So I call the Broadmoor. They go, we have a room on Friday night. I said, I'd like to play golf on Saturday. They go, it's a 2-night stay. I go, minimum. I go, fine. I'll take Friday and Saturday. Let me play golf on Saturday day. Book it. Boom. Done. Excited about it. Getting ready. And then what do you know? Last Saturday, I'm with Steve Simone in Tampa. By the way, thank you to everyone who came to Tampa. We had a blast. It was my first what do they call what is it when they were socially distant room. It was like a fucking regular old show again. Back, no masks.
Like really sold out, not the comics saying we sold out.
Old school fucking people. Shit. And
nice.
So thank you to everyone who came. But anyway, I'm there with Steve, and I look at the weather report, 33 degrees and an 80% chance of snow on Saturday.
Yep.
On Monday, it was 67. By the way, do you know what it's going to be next Saturday? Next Saturday here? Do you know what the weather's going to be?
83.
68 degrees and sunny. Right now, there's snow on the roof of all the buildings that I'm looking at over here. So I immediately on Monday canceled my reservation there, and I found this lovely place, and I'm really at a nice hotel. It's very nice. I'm excited about being here. And so here I am, but I didn't get a chance to play golf. But I did. I will tell you this also. Shameless plug, shout out because I got the greatest gift ever. I have wonderful friends that work in the golf industry, and one of my great friends, Matthew Adams, who works for the wonderful Callaway Golf Company, the best golf clubs in the business. And they generously send me a beautiful new set of clubs. I have the Apex Pros, which I got fitted for, and they are like little butter knives. I have the new wedges. I have the new Epic Speed driver, and I was so excited to go out and play with all of my new toys. I got them on Wednesday. I was going to go play on Thursday, but I got my second COVID shot, and my arm felt like it was going to fall off, so I haven't been able to play with them yet. So, yeah, I'm very excited. I took pictures of them. I actually swung them in my backyard with one arm. They are gorgeous. They are what will bring me to the next level. I mean, look, Callaway's not stupid. Okay. These clubs are expensive, and there's a reason why they give them to certain people. One, fans. Okay. Celebrities. Yes. I've got a fan base. I can promote these things too, but they also see talent. They see video. They see what you are capable of, and they want to get in on the ground floor. So maybe floating me some new clubs here and there, and bags and balls and clothes, so that when I go 50 and I go pro next, what do you think's going to happen? Who do you think I'm going to sign with? It's like these kids that go to these basketball camps at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. Scouts see them and they hey, I'll give you some free Nikes, and before you know it, when they turn into Carmelo Anthony, well, where do you think they're going to go sign? So I understand how the game is played. So I thank you, Callaway. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I cannot wait to go use these new weapons. But, I'm still a free agent. I have not signed with any exclusive deals with any corporate sponsors as of yet. And I want it to be that way because the process is still moving forward. So, but I can't wait to fucking play with these things. I really can't. It's going to be just hitting them in the when you get fitted. It's like going to, the only way I could put it is like, remember when Pretty Woman went to,
Beverly Hills?
Yeah, when she went to the Beverly Hills and she was trying all the clothes, like not the time where she got shunned for being a whore. The second time when she went back and she's like, big mistake when all that, you go in there and they're like, try this. Do you like this? Do you like these grips? How about, and you hit balls and they see how they go and the flight, and then you get to go, oh no, try these shafts. Maybe the ball will go, and it's all they fit it all to you. And then they send the specs over to Callaway and little elves make my clubs, like probably Brenton's family.
You need precise little fingers.
Tiny little fingers that are used to just, either picking small grapes and making wine or making beautiful golf clubs for people like me. So they're awesome and they feel great and I can't wait to go play with them. So, and my new bag comes pretty soon too, which is also from the Ogio company. And they make great bags and I got a cool design and I'm excited about all of it. So, yeah, that's what's going on with me. I'm fully vaccinated now. I have tiger blood. There's no stopping me. There's nothing I can't do. Today I walked up and down the plane, just breathing in the air. Yeah, I was wearing a mask, but I still was like, I felt confident about being alive now. This is the first time I felt confident about going out, around being, I've been with people a lot. I was in fucking Tampa last weekend.
Yeah.
Dude, Steve Simone is the greatest. His house is amazing. He did the shows with us, with me and him did the shows together. Together, we did the shows. And so he would pick me up from the hotel. Like Thursday night, I stayed at the hotel because I had press on Friday. And so that was the other thing. I did my first, like go to press in the morning. I haven't done that in like a year and a half since this whole thing started. So I went to press on Friday morning and then we did the podcast and then he picked me up for lunch and then we just hung out. And then Friday night I slept at his house. So after the shows, we drove back to his house and, his parents are living, like he's staying there. He's letting them stay in the house. They have a wing. So we get home where she's showing me the house.
Fucking Bruce Wayne.
Dude, it's amazing. It's amazing. But we get home and I'm like, he goes like, no, they don't. They're in their own world. I go, okay. So we get home, but on the kitchen table is all of this like Entenmann's cookies and like snacks, like any snack. It looked like we were going to have a sleepover. Like he's like Steve's friend sleeping over and I need to get every snack. Like it was like set decorations for like, hey, we're going to shoot a scene where two guys are going to, two boys, 11-year-old boys are having a sleepover. They were all stacked up and stuff, some waters and, it was just hilarious. And then we went to sleep and then Saturday we woke up and we were talked about going to Cracker Barrel. I love Cracker Barrel. So the Cracker Barrel breakfast is really like this. There's a thing where I don't even know what it's called, but it's like, it's one of everything. It's like, they should call it Can't Make Up Your Mind. Cause it's like, look, you're already here. We know that you're not getting avocado toast. So do you want one of everything? Do you want a stack of pancakes, some eggs, some bacon, some home fries, some toast, some ham, some sausage, some coffee, some orange juice, a wooden chair? What else do you want? We will give it all to you for $19.99. And I was like, we need to do that. I haven't done that in a long time. So we woke up, but we woke up to the smell of his mother making breakfast. His mom was making So we came out and, she's in the kitchen, like literally making, like, it smells like Cracker Barrel in the house. And already Steve's like, Mom, I told you we were probably going to go to Cracker Barrel. You're making but his dad's out there is like, this looks good. I'll eat that. So, yeah, we went to
Mom, you're embarrassing me in front of Steve.
No, they're hilarious. They are the sweetest people in the world. And I love them because, like, first of all, we went to Cracker Barrel, but we went to Cracker Barrel, we ran some errands, and then we came back and he's got a pool. So we hung out in the pool. It's beautiful. But each one of his parents, individually, at separate moments, like we would be in the kitchen, right? And then Steve would go outside to go get something out of the car. And his dad would be like, oh, good, come here. I got to talk to you. And you're like, oh, okay, what's going on? He's like, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you've done for my son, for being his friend. Like the sweet, like, you know how Steve, like, you go, how could this be? It's got to be fake, this kindness and this sweetness. It's got to be, it's not authentic. You can see exactly where it comes from just from me being friends with Steve and probably him telling stories about me. And like, you know, we are close. He's my son's godfather. We have shared meals and family events and stuff together, but just the way his parents were, like, each one of them, like, almost like, thank you for, like, we like, you've made us, you've made us feel comfortable that he had you out here. And it was amazing. And that's where I was like, oh my God. But almost like his dad was almost like, what do I owe you? Like, in a way, like, is there a bill to be to come at some point, or some sort of, you know, what do you need something from me? Because I you know, I understand. It's hilarious. It was so much fun. But yeah, Steve's got a dope house. I'm very excited for him. The shows were fun. It was good to be like, I mean, it felt weird to be back in like total full capacity, you know, old school situation, but it was fun to hear, you know, you tell a joke and it fucking it's boom, boom, boom. It was like, oh, I miss that, you know, miss that a lot. So, but yeah, I'm excited about this weekend, the 3 E's Comedy Club here. And, you know, it's socially distanced. So, you know, it's place by place. Tampa's lawless. Like, I don't think I saw anyone wearing a mask the entire weekend.
Well, they won the Super Bowl and we didn't see anyone wearing a mask, and that was 3 months ago.
Yeah, and they also WrestleMania was there. I was like getting, because I got
yeah, they were wearing masks, but they weren't the
yeah, like I see this fat guy with like Sergeant Slaughter getting on and stuff. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, like there was no one like hot. They didn't have like any hot girlfriends or anything like that. They were all just like loners getting on to go to fucking WrestleMania. What else? Yeah, so that was awesome last week. Oh, and then the one thing is, like, usually last weekend I would have normally been glued to the television because it's Masters week, and, you know, being with Simone, I was sort of just in and out, following it here and there. But what a great weekend. I mean, most people, did you guys watch on Sunday? Most people watch on Sunday at some point.
A little bit.
I watched Sunday highlights. I've only watched a few Masters, and it's really just when you have court on and I get interested.
Yeah, it was look, the course played real tough. It was not the same course that it was in November. The greens were much harder to try to hold. The pins were in subtly different spots than they usually were. And, you know, some guys just kept steady Eddie. Like, when you look at the win, obviously Hideki Matsuyama played unbelievably beautifully, and to keep the lead and hold it with the amount of pressure that guy's under. I mean, we don't know, because we've got so many different athletes and celebrities in America that, you know, that it's almost divvy. There are humongous ones, but they kind of divvy themselves out. For every Michael Jordan and LeBron James, you know, you have other guys that fight for, you know, social justice or whatever, and they're just as popular and just as big. But in Japan, Hideki Matsuyama and several other people are the only fucking game in town. They are the show, and no Japanese person has ever won a major. And he won the amateur 10 years prior to this year, which is the lowest amateur at the Masters gets also a trophy, the low amateur. So he won that. And several people have gone on to win the Masters and the low amateur. So Tiger Woods is one of them, and a couple other guys. But yeah, he did that. And so, you know, on Sunday, keeping that lead under that amount of pressure, because he has hundreds and hundreds of people following him, and the amount of press he's got to do. He's got to fucking know 2 different languages and do everything in different languages and shit. And he just fucking kept the course, just steady the entire time, and he won, and it was very deserving, and I'm very happy for him and everything. And they're talking about that possibly being a $1 billion financial win for that guy.
Wow.
$1 billion. Because again, obviously Japan's economy is humongous, and he is the first Japanese person to win a major in a. I mean, I think in Japan, it's like it pretty much probably goes baseball and golf in that order, the top two sports in Japan. So to be, the biggest name in one of the biggest sports in your country, it's going to, billboards and all the deals and the endorsement deals he's going to do, possibly $1 billion over the course of his career, and good for him. He deserves it. And hopefully it paves the way for other people out there. But William Zalatoris, I don't know if you guys, that name rings a bell. He, to me, is the co-winner. If he didn't win the trophy, the jacket, and he didn't win the Masters per se, but what he did was 2 years ago, this guy was ranked 2,000 something in the world. He grew up in Texas. He's friends with Jordan Spieth and Scotty Scheffler, and he's part of that kind of crew, that class. He's a little younger, 2 years behind them. 24 years old. And then the last year and a half, he has gone out and competed and made cut after cut and top 10 after top 10, to the point where, like, just from a person who follows golf every single week and, and bets on it, doing fantasy every week, even after COVID, I never would consider his name. Now it's almost every week I'm throwing Zalatoris in my starting lineup because he's always underrated and he always overproduces. And last weekend in the Masters, in one of the biggest stages that you'll ever face, he fucking just kept pounding away at that course. He's one of the guys, I think I told you in my recap of the Pasadena City Championship, I watched this kid hit a ball 340 yards. And I swear to you, he did not weigh over 140 pounds. And I don't think Zalatoris does either. I think the guy probably weighs maybe 150 pounds, maybe. And he fucking bombs it, and consistently. And he's got fucking ice in his veins. He doesn't give a shit. And his attitude was perfect. He literally had the greatest quote I've heard thinking about playing well and not being expected to be in the mix at the Masters. He goes, I was stupid enough to believe that I could play here. What makes you think I'm not stupid enough to think I can't win this thing? Which is amazing. Fucking amazing.
And he got
zero pressure.
Great tweet from Adam Sandler.
Sandler, that was the other thing, completely like thrown into pop culture, because Sandler tweets out that Zalatoris looks exactly like the caddy from Happy Gilmore. I guess, I don't even know. Did the guy have lines? I can't remember. I haven't seen Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, he tries to steal his bag, and Sandler tries to knock him out. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, really? I don't know if you could find a picture of. There's got to be one of the two of them together. Did I?
You enable screen sharing?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's and Sandler puts out a tweet that, good luck tomorrow. Look at the two of them. Yeah. The fucking blonde, poofy hair, the real jagged fucking angles to his face. He does
kind of a goblin face.
A lot of people have compared him to Owen Wilson. When he wears the hat, he's got that real Owen Wilson. He can even do a slight impression of him. He's great in an interview. So, just the sky's the limit. And honestly, it's like he came in second by himself, solo second, which gets him just so many different doors are opening now, because you can, join, I think he's in the Masters now. He's allowed to play like the next 2 or 3 years. He's qualified for it. So it's just like, a lot of opportunities. And to me, it's like he was the big winner of the event. I'm super happy for him.
And how much does second place get?
Oh, over $1 million. Over $1 million for sure.
Yeah, he's set.
Yeah.
First is what, 11 and a half?
No. I think first is like 1.8 million or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. The total purse is like 11.5 million.
Gotcha.
So it was a fun tournament to watch. I'm very happy for Hideki. He went into the water on 15 over the back, which was sort of nuts. That was a little moment where you were like, oh fuck, he could possibly blow this thing. But for the most part, he just, he piped it down the middle. He drove the ball real well, and he putted well. And we always knew he could play well, but he wasn't always a great putter, and he really putted beautifully. And his short game was great too, under pressure. So I'm very happy for him. The next major is in a month, so yeah, it's great. I mean, this is the greatest, and because of my my new clubs, these are the people I'm watching, and these are the people I'll be competing against, and it's exciting to see them. It's exciting to see them and to watch how they develop and how I develop. Yeah. So speaking of development, I'm going to do a proud dad thing for a second because my wife, I don't know. I don't Instagram out that many things about the kids because I have some, I've got some non-fans that probably follow me and they like this shit.
Steve, we can't verify that you actually have kids. They could be photoshopped.
They're my kids. Okay. And you know that. Just like me and Regis was not photoshopped. Every once in a while, I still get one like this motherfucker photoshopped this picture of Regis. And I was like, man, this like I was going to take that down, but I was like, this is great. This is like entertainment for the rest of my life. I can't take this down. But on what was it? 2 nights ago, we had a Little League game. My son started, and the limits are they pitch from 46 feet. The age range is 9 to 11, and my son's 8, but he turns 9 in like 3 weeks. So it's basically where you end the year is how old you are. So he's on the younger side, but the other kids are, some of them are bigger, some of them are just as big. So 46 feet, 75 pitches. It's a 6-inning game. So you think about it, you're like, all right, no one's ever going to do, go the whole 6 innings. So we figured we'd start him because we tried a couple times where we brought him in the middle just to kind of enter Sandman. Mariano Rivera close his fucking game out. We call it the jiu-jitsu where we just, you think you're coming back. Oh, new pitcher's getting the game. And then we choke the life out of you. And I warmed up with Jonah and we just like our typical warm up, little bit of stretching, weighted balls, a tiny little bit, and just throwing long toss. And then we throw about 5 or 6 pitches. And it was probably like the best little warm up I've ever seen him do. It was like, oh, great. Everything was just spot on. And he, we got there, he's warming up and the umpire's watching him. First kid gets up and he just right from the get-go, boom, strike. And he struck out the side, which is, in 12 pitches. And he just started motoring through first inning, second inning. And when we got to the 4th inning, it was perfect game so far. And he was at like 35 pitches. And I go, dude, I went out there at the beginning of the inning. I go, how's your arm? He goes, I feel great. And so you want to, yeah, let's just keep going. I go, great. Struck out the side there at the 4th inning. And then the 5th inning, he goes back out, strikes out the first kid. So now we're like, whoa. And then hits the next kid. He's at like 60 pitches, hits the next kid in the back, threw a couple strikes, but then hit him in the back. And then the next kid gets up and just puts a bat on the ball, right? Hard single right up the middle. Shortstop maybe could have had it 50-50, but it's one of those Little League plays. It gets by, and we were playing on AstroTurf. So once it gets by,
that's
then
fast.
then it's gone. And then it gets by the center fielder, and it's game over. So 2 runs scored. So I go, okay, maybe we'll take him out, right? But I'm looking at him, right? And I go, where is he? He's not on the mound. And I look, he ran behind home plate to cover the throw. And I go, man, he's not like, normally that would be a thing where he's like, he'd be on the mound, kind of like, I'm pissed off that happened. But he just continued to play the way you're supposed to play, right? So I go, we're going to leave him in this game. I was talking to the coach, him and I, and he ended up striking out the next 2 kids, right? We're going into the 6th inning, and I'm going, maybe, what do we do? And the coach and I talked to him, and he said, no, I want to go out and I want to finish this. He was at 66 pitches or something like that. Struck out the first kid on 3, struck out the next kid on 4. And so because you were going to get to 75, if you are below 75, you are allowed to start that batter. And if you go above 75, once that batter's out, then you have to change the pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
And on 4 pitches, he struck out the last kid. 16 strikeouts. He got 2 ground balls to him to make the other 2 outs. And it was like, I've never seen anything like it. Like a complete game, 76 pitch performance, like what you would expect out of a high school pitcher. And the remarkable thing is the umpire came over and he goes, he goes, he goes, I've seen a lot. I do a lot of high school games too. He's like, nobody's got this sort of control. Who taught him? And I told him the same thing I tell everyone that says that. I go, I don't know. He's got talent, but the only thing I go, Brody Stevens was his teacher. So I tell everyone, Brody Stevens, I go, because Brody and I used to throw the ball all the fucking time in the parking lot, right? He'd bring his glove. There was no one in the store. I'd bring my glove. Boom. And I always chest to chest. It was a big thing. It was always like he didn't want to be diving all over for balls. That to him was not a catch. That was like a free for all. That's playtime. You want to play catch? Let's fucking play catch. So, we would talk baseball and pitching, and he would break down, like, nobody else really gave a shit in the comedy world as the minutia of what I would, I had pitched a little bit. So I was like, oh, I'm kind of interested in what his technique was. And he would show me. I mean, you would see, he would do stuff where he would do like get to here and hold your leg up, balance for like 10, 15 seconds. So it was always coming through, plant foot facing your target, all your energy going towards the plate. And so I just kind of, always kept these things in my mind. So when Jonah started having more and more interest in baseball, and especially in pitching, he started pitching, he started throwing. I go, no, we got to start. I go, first, the only thing you can't throw until you are on balance. So I would literally sit there and have him hold his leg up for 5 seconds, just the way, arm here, and then come towards the plate, and just little things like that. And so when you watch him pitch, it's, again, it's kind of effortless. It's like, it's kind of crazy. I don't, let me see. I want to pull up a picture, but, yeah, it's just nuts. I'll pull it up in a second. I'm not good. See, Emma's not here, guys, by the way. So I'm trying to do everything, and I can't talk and do the computer shit at the same time. But,
well, he was kind of taught indirectly by Joe Torre. Brody was a teacher at Joe Torre's baseball camp for years.
Yeah. And what's funny, to pull Brody full circle, I Gladstone's. I was at Gladstone's on Mother's Day. This was maybe 8 years ago. We went to Gladstone's in Malibu, and we probably just had Jonah. So it was like, right around then. And the waitress came over and she's like, oh, happy Mother's Day. And then she saw the two boys and she goes, are you guys interested? Do you guys like baseball? And they were like, yeah. And she goes, oh, this guy just signed a baseball. He was just here. It was Joe Torre was just there and signed some baseballs and handed them out. And the waitress gave us a signed Joe Torre awesome. Baseball. Yep. Full circle. It's the Jewish pioneers of the South. Yeah. So
next step, Little League World Series.
Yeah. I mean, look, you
got to get him on the California team. Why not? He's 3 years away from that, 4 years away.
Who knows? You think about look, it's wonderful. And he has so much fun doing it. And it's like, it's his passion. It's like, it's amazing to watch someone have fun doing their passion. Mm-hmm. And so, but like, I haven't let myself go to like the fucking crazy places. I'm like, as long as he's having fun, he's doing well. That's all I give a shit about. I'm like, there are two things I would love, like in your wildest dreams, for him to put on the USA jersey and, pitch like in the Olympics, like would be a fucking thing where I was like, that would be, I could cry thinking about it right now, just right now. That, and then if you ever got to pitch for the Yankees, it would be, ridiculous, game over. So though, those are the only places I've ever let my mind go for a slight bit, because it's remarkable. People stop, like, bystanders and shit. Like, what's going on here?
It's like the famous John Elway story when he was playing Little League football. The ref went to his dad. His dad showed up late to a game, and he said, look, man, either your kid's the greatest football player I've ever seen in my entire life, or all these kids are the worst players I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, no. And you know what it is? It's like, it's not like he's bigger. He's not like one of those kids. It's like, all right, this kid's just bigger, and he's probably on the smaller side, but his like mechanics and he really is. His mechanics and his delivery is repeatable and effortless. And so it's like, it's not like he's a fucking genius where he just, knows how to, he just knows how to repeat the motion. And that's like throwing the ball exactly where he wants to do it. I mean, like every once in a while we'll give him like a sign and he'll throw a changeup, and it's embarrassing because like you see a kid, like, especially when it's a kid, you're like, we know he can hit. And he just, the first two pitches, you're like, you're like, the first one you don't even see. The second one, you're like, okay, I think it's going to be a strike, but it's in a perfect spot, strike two. So now you're like, all right, here we go. And then he just drops a little change. You're like, fuck. And you're out, and it's another strike. Like
Greinke style. You see
it's nuts, dude.
The 55 mile an hour changeup he was throwing?
I know. And I'll say this. I pretty much can guarantee you Jonah threw a pitch last night that was faster than that pitch that Greinke threw.
Yeah.
And I can almost guarantee it because he pretty much lives around 55 to 58. Which is nuts.
Which at 8 years old is insane.
Yeah.
And at 46.5 feet, that's the equivalent of probably like a 95 mile an hour fastball.
I mean, look, I'll tell you right now, I would not be one of the, and the kid that he hit him in the shoulder, like right here. And, I go, Jonah, he went over and said, I go, what, did you get loose on that? He goes, no, he was kind of inside crowding the plate a little bit, and I wanted to back him off a little bit. He goes, I hit him in the shoulder. He didn't try to hit him. He's like, I try to throw him. I want the inside half of the plate. Like, I don't have to like that shit. I'm like, I didn't even teach him that. That's like, he watches so much baseball without me. Mm-hmm. Like, he knew when we got home. I go, dude, do you know what you did tonight? He goes, I'll tell you what I didn't do. Throw a no-hitter like the White Sox pitcher. Like, he knew about that before, and that pissed him off.
Yeah. Well, and
because he goes on Sports Center, that would have been the lead story, and I would have been the second story. I'm like, you're right, dude. You're right. He goes, I gave up a hit. I hit a batter, and I gave up a hit. I go, I get it. I go, it's understandable, dude. You're not a machine. You're going to give up a hit once in a while. So, but it's like he just, so I'm saying I don't have to teach him like or any of that stuff. Like, he knows, like, he's like, I want the inside plate. You're not going to extend your arms. So, wow.
I know you haven't thought of it much, Steve, but what do you think happens first? Your son plays in the Little League World Series, or you make the senior tour?
Oh my God.
Well, it would have to be. You're not eligible.
I'm not eligible for 6 years.
Yeah.
In 6 years, he'll be he'll
be 14.
He'll be 14. That's too young. So I'm figuring I could probably win my first senior major in the first 2 or 3 years.
Well, no, I think Little League World Series that they televise, like they do tournaments.
Oh, the Little League World Series is 12.
Yeah.
That's 12.
12, 13 is what's televised, but they have tournaments for kids starting at like 9 or 10 or something. They just don't televise those.
We usually go to New York in the summer, and because this year Joan is eligible for All-Stars, we might stick around for a little longer and play in the All-Star tournament, because I just would like to see, how it stacks up against everything else. I mean, like I said, like last year it was sort of off the charts with that travel team we did in New York, and he's going to do it again. And that's they're good competition, but it's, and let me tell you something. I've been told this by many coaches. It's like the kid that dominates at 8 isn't always the kid that dominates at 12. Everyone's physical body, but the things that I like about it is that his motion is, if he never changes his motion, he will be fine. As long as his body just gets bigger, that's all. He never has to add anything to, like, he's already got it all down. Mm-hmm. Like the actual ability to throw a very good pitch, whatever physical traits he gets from here on out are, that's not up to me, but it's like, it's pretty cool. It's awesome, but fun thing to fucking be a part of and to watch. And he was exhausted. He gets in the car like James Brown after. He's like, and then I go, what do you want for dinner? He's like, I don't even know. Decide for me. I go, well, he goes, what are my options? I go, what are your, everything. All options are your, you know how we do it. All options. What do you want? Maybe Jack in the Box. All right, we'll get Jack in the Box, dude. It's not closed. I don't have to break in to get it. We'll get fucking Jack in the Box. And I'm like, and I told him the next day, I go, no throwing under any circumstances, no pretend games. I go, you want to play basketball? Play basketball. So no baseball. He won't throw. We have a game on Saturday. He's not going to pitch on Saturday. Probably just play shortstop. So it's we're doing it right. But yeah, it was fucking fun. And yeah, what else is going on? Oh yeah, you want to talk about your big news, Brenton, whatever that is. I've got kids, a life, vacations, some comedy touring.
Yeah, I'm getting my life back. I'm getting my vaccine shot tomorrow.
Which one are you getting? Johnson & Johnson, hopefully?
No. We're getting Pfizer.
Oh, good. All right. That's the one I got.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I got my second one, so I'm good to go. It's not bad, dude. It's not bad at all. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
What are you excited about though? Is this NXT, NFT shit? Or
I want to ask you a question, Steve.
All right, I'm here.
What is this?
It's a quarter.
Okay. And what is this? What is the difference between these two things?
A quarter's worth 25 cents, and the thing on the left, the wolf coin, is worth nothing.
This is worth 12.8 more cents than a quarter now. I went to bed a week ago. Doge was at 5.5 cents. I went to bed Monday night. Doge was at 6.8 cents. I woke up Tuesday. It went to 14 cents. I go to bed Wednesday. It's now at 25 cents. I go to bed today. It's at 38 cents.
You went to bed today already?
I woke up. I'm sorry. I'm just excited. It's exploding. The shit coin that I took so much shit for and got called an idiot I'm up 18,000% right now.
I don't think 18,000% is the right number. I don't think that's right at all. Maybe you're up
1,800. Sorry, I'm up 1,800%.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm up a lot of money.
Okay, but are you really though? Because you have one coin that's now worth a little bit less than if you had two of those quarters on the right over there. Remember the quarter you had?
We're gonna hit a quarter by the end of this podcast, or two quarters by the end of the podcast.
Remember the last time you predicted something would happen at the end of the podcast? What happened then?
Well, the
what
Sabres
happened? You lost some wine.
We lost that game. That game, but the Sabres traded Taylor Hall, and now are ruining their
they're
last
500
place
again.
Finish and their chance of getting the first overall pick by winning meaningless games and turning their season around and giving me a little bit of hope going into next year.
Dude, they're 500 again. I mean, not for the season, but they've been playing 500 hockey.
They've been playing really well.
I wouldn't say really well. 500 hockey.
They've been playing really well. For what that team was,
yeah,
they've been playing really well.
Hello. What the Dogecoin would play better hockey than they were. The Dogecoin won more games in March.
They almost have more wins in the last 2 weeks than they had all season before.
That's what I'm saying. So
that's crazy.
And also the same amount of losses too.
Yeah.
So, but look, the sun will come out and maybe it's getting a little bit brighter. As far as Dogecoin is concerned, you have now one of that Dogecoin, right? To get more Dogecoin, like if you bought more Dogecoin, wherever you buy it from, do they actually send you the actual coins, or did you just keep it in a registered account?
This I bought on my own. This is just for fun.
Wait, what?
This is a worthless token. This is not a real thing. Crypto's not a tangible, like I can hold it in my hand thing, Steve.
So that's like one of those.
I went on a website and I paid a guy and he sent me this in the mail. That's just for fun. We're just having fun. This is a fun coin.
You need to get out.
And shout out to our Patreon member, Austin, who was foolish enough to listen to me and is now also up big money.
Oh my God. You're getting our Patreon members involved in this?
Yeah, they listen to me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They pick against all my football picks and they listen to my investment advice.
By the way, could we shout out our Patreon member who actually won our NCAA pool? Who was that again? Look that person up, please. I forget.
Andrew Poop. He made his name Poop. I think
Putnam?
It was Andrew Smith.
Oh, Andrew Smith. Yeah. Andrew Smith won. I mean, it was a fucking battle of futility. I can't even believe I didn't finish 500.
He did the right thing, dude. He did the right thing. And he knew that Gonzaga was going to be the favorite that everyone was going to take. And the majority of our bracket did. And he picked somebody else. And that's how you win these things.
Oh, eat shit, Brenton.
But it's how you win these things. He was right.
How you win these things. Why didn't you do that then? How you win these things, man?
I didn't pick Gonzaga. I picked Michigan, and they lost.
And they went out way
heartbreaker.
early, way early.
No. They were in the Final Four. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, they lost to UCLA. My fault.
Yeah, it was a heartbreaker.
I was thinking of Ohio State, who
overtime.
I picked to go to the Final Four, and they lost way early.
Yeah, they lost in the
Second round, I think. Yeah,
they lost in the first round.
I don't know. It
They
was a
lost to
disaster.
15. Yeah, they lost to a 15 seed.
Yeah, those cunts.
Yeah.
I hate that. I fucking hate that. What else? Yeah. So Dogecoin, you have the one
is going to the moon.
But you have more invested somewhere on a computer somewhere, correct?
Yeah, I have an actual investment.
Good for you.
But SpaceX announced about an hour ago that they won the contract with NASA and they are sending a rocket to the moon. And Elon has promised that he's going to put one of these actual tokens on the moon.
Okay. Can we put you in the rocket to send you to the moon? We'll do the podcast with you via satellite from the moon.
I would love to go there.
I love if your first spot out
I'll
after.
have the money to do it. I'll build my own rocket ship.
Good for you, buddy. Good. I know you. God, I just hope this whole thing doesn't come crashing down and we're gonna have a sob story on our hands.
Well, no. Here's the thing, and I should say this to anyone who actually is listening and taking advice. I am not a financial advisor, and the money that I put into Dogecoin is money that I can lose and don't care if I lose. I am having so much fun with this, and so far it has. If it goes to zero tomorrow, this has been the most fun few months watching this thing. And to wake up and go, holy shit, I'm up $200,000 in 3 hours is crazy.
And what about when you go down 150,000 in 15 seconds?
Well, that hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet.
Can we have live footage of when that happens?
I'll take screenshots and I'll send them to you.
I want when the fucking bottom falls out. Speaking of the bottom falling out, look, the only reason I'm talking about this is because we covered it for 2.5 years, but which do you think was worse for the Bachelor franchise? The whole racism allegations or the fact that one of them, Colton, has now come out as full-fledged gay? 100% gay, which we kind of were a little bit suspect of, but you can't really say anything because then, because he's a virgin, you can't go, oh, he's gay. But, hello.
Well, that's what all his friends did in high school.
But it's like, do you realize now, we wasted a whole fucking year on that, analyzing. I would have rather him been like, I'm gay the first episode. And ABC would have been like, clear out these bitches, bring in some fucking cocks and balls, and let's keep this thing going. What do you like? You like dark meat, white meat? What do you need?
Jesus.
What are you looking for, Colton? You're looking for what kind of cock are you looking for? And so I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's, he came out and that he's true to himself and everyone, but it's like, I'm not happy for me. I'm pissed off. And could you imagine if you were one of the girls on that season? I don't even remember. What were the fantasy suites like on that year? Did he kiss girls? What was this like?
I think he kissed girls, but I think we suspected that he wasn't sleeping with any of them. And he kept saying, I'm waiting until I'm finding my person.
Yeah.
I find my person first.
Remind me again. Was it Pete the pilot first, or what was when we first the first one we did was
Colton was the first.
Was the first one we did? Yeah. Oh my God, we got our first one. We got fooled by a gay bachelor. That was the problem.
We got.
That's a weird question. Do you think the Bachelor could have turned him gay?
Look, maybe. I mean, I'm not saying anyone can be turned anything, but. If he was on the fence, it probably didn't help. Well, he's probably looking at these catty bitches, right, and going. But meanwhile, he's in the meantime, he's he's staring at a camera guy, with a camera on his shoulder, and just puts it down, and he takes a drink of water, and he's wiping his brow, and he's just checking his phone because he's got a real life and he doesn't care about what the fuck's going on, and Colton's cock's getting hard. And he's like, well, and then he looks at the girls. And he's like, oh, I keep this cock hard. Let me keep my. And then he looks at them, and they're like, and he's like, and the fucking boner goes away. until fucking Theodore picks up his fucking camera again and goes, Colton, can I get a minute with you? And he fucking explodes in his pants. I mean, that's a tough thing to tackle in the middle of filming a TV show. So it might have happened that way.
Well,
we could have found out that way.
According to my sources from Cassie, this was actually, he wasn't just like, I signed up and now I'm the Bachelor. He was on the Bachelorette, and then he went to the Bachelor in Paradise, and then it was Hannah Beast that convinced him to stay on. So he went through like multiple situations of trying to figure it out.
Oh my God.
Still was like, no, I'm going to be the Bachelor, and that'll prove that I'm straight.
Oh my God. Poor boy.
And now he has a Netflix show.
Yeah.
He has a Netflix show?
Yeah.
They
right when he came out.
Right.
What is it called? The Search for Cock?
Good Morning America, and now he's going to be getting a Netflix unscripted series where he's going to be taught how to be a gay man.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't sound like it's real, but it's real.
I can't. I really can't. It's the end. Look,
Well, I'm sorry, Steve. Were you trying to sell a show to Netflix? That's not what they're buying.
No, they don't. I mean, I have so much invested in them stock wise, but sometimes when I see some of these decisions, like $50 million to a prince because he's a prince, to let his fucking wannabe actress girlfriend produce television shows, and you know, and $10 million to a fucking a confused man about his sexuality to try to fucking sway him in a direction. I where are we here? What are we gonna do? This is the end, dude. This is the end of days. I'm getting off the grid.
This is peak television.
No. It when the lights went out on The Sopranos, when it was cut to black, that was it. That was the end.
Well, we just finished Peaky Blinders, which has been fucking great series.
Look, I tried Peaky Blinders, and I
you
used
didn't
to
like
make
Peaky Blinders.
Let me just finish my
you're
statement.
Irish.
First of all, I thought it was English. Second of all, my dad used to have a problem, and it was so ridiculous. I used to make fun of him all the time. He goes, he can't. I go, Dad, watch this with me. He goes, I can't. It's a foreign film. I go, it's English, Dad. They just have English accents. He goes, I can't. I don't watch foreign films. That's fine. So whatever. R.I.P. Dad. But I am not the same way. I'm not that simple-minded, but I watched the first 2 episodes of Peaky Blinders, and it is a goddamn struggle to understand what the fuck these guys are saying to each other.
The captions on.
I don't want to read and be entertained. I would read the fucking book then if I was going to do that. I'm trying to look at people's. I'm an emotional person. I look at a person's eyes and face, and I want to see what they're emoting. I can't do that if I'm reading the goddamn words because I can't understand their pig Latin.
Cillian Murphy is an amazing actor.
Yes.
But when Tom Hardy gets brought in, Tom Hardy is like the best character.
Okay, I believe you.
Of characters. It's
but
incredible.
I haven't understood a thing Tom Hardy said in a very long fucking time before he put that Bane costume on.
Oh, well,
okay?
You wouldn't understand. He sounds like Bane, but they didn't ruin his voice.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's a real fucking battle. You got to be this certain kind of person. I want my gangster shit simple. Blow shit up, fuck people up. I want to understand fuck. I don't want to have to look up a curse word. You fucking blimey coca-caca. What is that? I don't want to have to look up coca-caca because you don't. I don't want to do that.
It's art, Steve.
I know, Brendan.
Speaking of art, we just started
look at
watching
the art piece in my hotel room.
Have you watched that documentary on the Boston Art Museum that got robbed in the night?
Yep, Tracy and I watched it the other night, and I watched. I know. I watched
episode 1. We're gonna blow through that.
I fell asleep during the first 15 minutes.
But that's accents. That's accents. They got the guy on the thing, and he's like, I don't know how they pulled this up. The guy who stole this must have been wicked smart.
That's a Boston accent. Those are Those are American people, Brendan.
Wicked smart, Steve, to steal that art.
It's Americans, Brendan. They're Americans. I don't mind that. I listen to Southern music, country music. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the fucking roar. It's too much for me. Please, I want some more. I go see fucking Oliver if I wanted to do this. And I know it's good.
So good.
I watch Gangs of London. I love that, but I could understand them. Peaky was a bit of a problem for me, but didn't someone just die on it?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Who died?
The actress who played Aunt Polly passed away today.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. And who else? Someone else died. Oh, Bernie Madoff. That's a good one.
I didn't know he's still alive.
Yeah.
Did you?
He's been
I
in
thought
jail.
He hung himself in a cell.
I thought I heard that too. But then I was like, is that Epstein? Am I getting confused? But then I don't think he did hang himself, Epstein. I think that was probably murder.
Well, now that is a thing that exists on our podcast.
There it is, guys. I think Epstein was murder t-shirts coming soon. Let's talk NFL draft because I want to know. We're getting down to it. It's 2 weeks away now. Is it less than 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
2 weeks from tomorrow or yesterday?
13 days.
13 days away.
Have you seen the new favorite to go third overall?
Justin Fields, I believe, has moved up to the number 3 overall, according to Las Vegas.
Yes, I have the Vegas odds right here.
Interesting.
I mean, Mac Jones is still.
Mac Jones fits. Justin Fields is probably the better athlete and could be the better quarterback, but Mac Jones seems to fit the 49ers system more.
Well, if I'm a 49ers fan, though, I want Fields. I don't want Jones that high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I only thought, and I guess it's, because if I thought because maybe New England's going to move up and they have their eye on one of them, that kind of pushed the line on. Because if they have if they've said like they have their eye on, I don't know, Mac Jones, and they have to move up to 4 to get it, that probably means that they assume that Justin Fields is going to be gone at 3 to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, I believe that the Patriots will probably have to move up, right?
Yeah.
They need a quarterback.
They're getting a quarterback. Yeah.
What did I read? I read something. I think it was ESPN or something like. All the Tom Brady years, all the 20 years he was there, they never finished worse than 14th in the division in offense.
Mm-hmm.
Every single year, even the shit years. This year they were 28th and 30th in the pass. So they need to get a fucking quarterback. I know, obviously Cam Newton is Cam Newton, and he's not Tom Brady and he's older, but I don't think Cam Newton is the answer. And I don't think that fucking backup guy, what's his name, Studman?
Stidham.
Stidham? Yeah. I don't think he's the guy either. So I think they have to figure out who their person is, and I don't think Belichick moves up unless he knows the guy he wants to get and knows he can get that guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think if he's in love with Justin Fields, he's not going to move up hoping that the fucking 49ers don't take him, so he's now stuck with Mac Jones. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he moves up unless he knows he gets the guy. I mean, who knows?
That's kind of how the draft works too. Teams have informal agreements saying, hey, if so-and-so player is available at 7, I give you this, to move up. Like that, there definitely is talk right now between teams of, just hypothetical scenarios. Right now, I have the odds: Justin Fields minus 125 to go third, Mac Jones plus 120. Here, I'll share the screen that I saw earlier today. I thought it was pretty interesting. They have by a position group the over/under for first round totals, and they have for quarterback 5.5. Now, do you think more than 5 quarterbacks get drafted in the first round this year?
Yes.
Yeah. And that falls into the Adam Schefter tweet that he put out a couple of months ago, where he said that it would be like the over/under would be something like 18 or 19 teams would have a new starting quarterback this season. So I still think we're going to see some movement with quarterbacks.
I think there'll be 6.
You do?
Yeah. I think that you get the first 4, right? And then you'll get the North Dakota kid. What is it? Is it North Dakota?
Yeah, Trey Lance.
Yeah. He'll go. And then one other. Who am I missing? There's one other one that I think will go. Who else do
I can't even think I think the fact that 4 quarterbacks will go in the top 10 definitely boosts your argument for the over.
Yeah. It's
Because
it's 5.5, right?
Right. The next 2 quarterbacks, 5 and 6, will probably be slightly overdrafted because teams will think I got to get a quarterback now because.
Yep.
So yeah,
I don't know.
Take the over on that too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last 2 teams. They're not going to draft like the Chiefs aren't going to draft a quarterback. The Bills aren't going to draft a quarterback. Do the Tampa Bay Bucks draft a quarterback?
They could.
It's like if they fall in love with a guy, Tom Brady's obviously, he can't be upset about that if not unless there was like someone and he said like, I want this or I want that. I mean, he pretty much gets whatever he wants, but
yeah,
you never know. I'm trying to think of like the end of the draft where those teams will be, if any of them could use a quarterback or anything like that. The only one I'm pretty locked on, 100% is I think that Oregon kid's, the lineman's going to be the first non-quarterback picked. Over.
You do?
Yeah, I think over Pitts. Because
I'll bet you right now, Steve.
I think if it falls to the Bengals, right, that I think they are gonna go with the offensive lineman over the guy they can throw the ball to.
You don't think the Bengals are going to take a wide receiver?
No. I think that they probably realize that there's no one to throw the ball to a wide receiver if Joe Burrows is fucking lying on his back in a hospital again. So that offensive, that kid from Oregon's the real deal. And, or even the kid from Northwestern, I don't remember his name, but he could play 2 positions.
Slater.
He's like ready to go day one. So, I don't, they went, where'd they go? They went a big kid last year or 2 years ago. Jonah Williams, I think they got.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Alabama.
Yeah. So, they have put some emphasis on the offensive line. I just feel like, between the offensive line, Pitts is a beast and he will be a playmaker, but you can get a fucking playmaker in free agency easier than it is to draft someone that can protect your quarterback's blind side for 10 years.
Yeah.
So again,
if the Falcons stay at 4, I think they take Pitts.
The Falcons might take Pitts, but they might take a quarterback too.
I think it really depends on how much faith they have in Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
No.
And quarterback and tackle.
You know the Falcons out of those top 4 guys. Maybe not. We'll take Trevor Lawrence out of it. Out of Fields, Wilson, and who's the other guy I'm missing?
Fucking the North Dakota guy, and then Kyle Trask, and Stanford's quarterback.
They have their eye on one of those guys, and they realize that if that guy falls to them, which they probably would have expected that person to go, they might pull the trigger on that person. So,
yeah, quarterback and tackle are actually pretty deep in this draft. So that's why I would think Pitts it will be the first non-quarterback to go, because I've just heard that he's the best tight end prospect in Kellen Winslow from a lot of scouts.
He's a beast, but I'm thinking you got to go offensive tackle. But if you want to arm wrestle for it, Lucas, we can do a fucking thing. We'll kill each other for it.
The other over/under I found interesting was Micah Parsons. His draft position is the over/under is 11.5, which is right where the Giants pick at 11.
Really?
Yeah.
Who is this again? Sorry, I was
Micah Parsons, a linebacker from Penn State. Because let's see,
I like that Florida kid.
Which
for the Giants, but I think the Giants will go defense for sure. So for sure.
Also, I don't know if you've seen the top 3 ranked cornerbacks in this draft, but all 3 of their dads played in the NFL.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. What? Yeah, it's
Patrick Surtain Jr.
Yeah, Surtain.
My favorite, probably. I think he could. If the Bills are picking top 10, need a cornerback. This is who I want them to get. J.C. Horn. Do you remember his dad?
Wait, Horn. The wide receiver Horn.
Yeah.
What was it? Alan Horn?
No, Joe Horn.
Joe Horn. Yeah. Yes, Joe Horn. That's his son. Okay.
And he's a great player. I think whoever takes him, whether it be Dallas or whomever, they're gonna he's as sure a thing as I think he could get. But I just remember his dad when he pulled that cell phone out. Remember, it's like 2003, 04, and it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Yep. It was like a flip phone, I think, too, or something like that. Yeah. Damn, dude. It's so crazy now that we are now I am for sure. You guys are not quite there, but you're entering the generation where you will see the sons of players that you grew up watching now. The entire Toronto Blue Jays team is Hall of Famers. Bichette, Guerrero, Biggio.
We saw that with the Bucks. What's his name? Winfield Jr.
Yep.
His dad never made it to the Super Bowl, and his son wins it his rookie year.
Yeah, no, we're getting old, dude. We're fucking, it's go time. We're, they're not kids.
These are children. These
are kids now.
We're talking about kids.
We're watching kids now. By the way, speaking of kids, get a babysitter if you've got them and you live in the Omaha, Nebraska area, because I'll be at the Waiting Room next weekend doing comedy, Omaha, Nebraska, Friday and Saturday. I believe it's one show Friday, 2 on Saturday, or something I think that's how it goes.
Yeah, it is.
It's a cool room. I've heard nice things about it. I'm looking forward to going. I'm pretty sure it's socially distanced, or whatever the rules are, they'll be following the rules. But yeah, Omaha, Nebraska next weekend. Tickets are at waitingroom.com. We got did you guys see there's a UFO? It's 100% now. I love how the government's this is a UFO, and it's not even in the news. I have to see the New York Post to watch that there's a UFO. The nightly news doesn't cover the UFO.
It's literally the least of our problems right now.
COVID is still that bad that the UFO is do you think they're just circling going
and we're gonna wait to land.
We're like the guy in a packed parking lot. We're like the people they see our planets packing up their shit into the trunk and getting into the car and getting ready to back out and explain. They want our spot. They just circling the fucking waiting right now for all right. As soon as they see the reverse lights go on, it's game time. That's what I think that's what I think is happening.
I'm such a conspiracy theorist though that I don't actually believe that the report that they said is real. I think they're trying to, if UFOs really existed, I think Trump would have let it spill when he was president. You know what I mean?
Well,
this has to be some sort of distraction.
I think maybe that's why you hear a lot of it coming out now, is that they didn't tell him for a long time. And they're look, we just got to let it, as long as we tell everyone, then people won't be pissed we didn't tell him when it was going on. But I think that would be the only thing I want to hear from him. How I guess presidents still get briefings and shit after they're not president anymore. They still get some classified information. I would love if he's our deep throat on alien shit. That would be a way for him to reconcile with the country. If he's I let out, he's queuing, he's the queue for oh shit. Don't go to Colorado Springs. They're testing fucking missiles to kill the fucking UFOs. So shit like that, where it's, let that shit out. I don't mind that. Be a fucking loose lips on that kind of shit. That would be great. Other than that, I'm just let me know when it's Independence Day, when I have to start hugging my family and stuff like that. I don't want to know anything before that because there's nothing I can do. I'm not going up to space like fucking Biddlecombe over here. You guys have anything else? I got to fucking take a shit and get in the shower and get ready for shows.
It's a good way to end the podcast. Julian Edelman retired.
Oh, yeah. Big Julian Edelman. 5-time Super Bowl champion, right?
3-time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he did get that one where he got the picture
MVP.
after with the chick, the hot chick. She took a picture of him nude or something like that after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Always remember that.
So the debate this last week has been, is he a Hall of Famer?
No. He's not a Hall of Famer.
I wholeheartedly agree. And I have some stats I'm trying to pull up. So he I don't know if you realize he was second to Jerry Rice in almost every category for receivers in the playoffs. He killed it in the postseason.
Okay.
And
by the way, he took Jerry Rice's daughter to prom.
Yes, he did.
Bold move.
But this is from Warren Sharp, who is arguing against him. He says he loves Julian Edelman, but you compare his career to Hines Ward, who hasn't been inducted to the Hall of Fame. And this is their stats. Hines had 1,000 receptions. Julian had 620. Hines had 12,083 yards. Julian had 6,822.
6,000?
Yeah, that's it. He was averaging 5 catches and 75 yards a game.
Dude, he's getting it for a couple of reasons. Number one, he won a few more Super Bowls than most people. Number two, he played with Tom Brady, and number 3, he's white.
No.
I'm not kidding you. Those are the 3 reasons. If he was a black wide receiver, he would not be fucking.
But
6,000 yards for a black wide receiver.
Pro Bowl. He never made the Pro Bowl.
Exactly. He's an average wide receiver that was gifted with great hands and caught the ball when a great quarterback for many years threw it to him. Great career, dude.
He was
open up a thing of car washes. You're Lenny Dykstra.
Cool he was a quarterback and I think a cornerback in college.
Yeah, super talented athlete. Go out there and get your fucking. Probably be a great coach, but you're not going to the Hall of Fame, dude. Sorry. Is this what I'm turtle heading for? You proving that Julian Edelman belongs in the Hall of Fame? Because I'm going to shit my pants pretty soon here. Just
shit your pants.
It's because I ate a burger at LAX and then the plane just rumbled it, dude. And now it's like, it's time to go. That's the podcast for the week. I love each and every one of you. Please tell more people about it. We'd love to have more listeners. Shout out to Emma. We'll hopefully see her next week. And again, Omaha, Nebraska next weekend. And if you're in Colorado Springs, tomorrow night at the 3 E's Comedy Club. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Later.
Go Bills.
Go.